I talk about love a lot in my videos, touting it as being the best medicine and the overall solution for the problems that we're experiencing and witnessing in the world right now. Now, unfortunately, love has a pretty bad rap. And so a lot of people, when they hear me speaking about love in this way, they assume that they hear me talking about something which is weak and passive, something which is submissive, which is allowing, which knows naught of boundaries and which doesn't know how to stand up for itself, doesn't know how to unite and to say no. People tend to associate love with the love of the hippies, which is all peace and love, man. Let's chill out and let's put flowers in place of bullets in weapons and just passively, although peacefully, coexist. Or people associate love with romantic or sentimental love, which is kind of soppy and soft by nature, and which tends to leave people in a weakened state because they don't know how else to love. They believe that to love is to give your power away, is to become subservient, and ultimately is to be weakened by love. But that's not the kind of love that I'm talking about. And I just want to take this opportunity to describe the kind of love that I am talking about and to help you hopefully to realize that love is actually one of the most potent and powerful forces on this earth, one of the most powerful and potent sources that we can wield, especially if we're wielding it for good. Unfortunately, a lot of people wield love in the name of power. So it's a love of power rather than learning how to powerfully love, which is the act of wielding their power in the name of love, and all of the various qualities of love, which are powerful in and of themselves. Qualities such as compassion, of kindness, of tolerance, of acceptance, allow us to actually unite and to become stronger under the banner of love and in the name of love. Unfortunately, we live in a world that is a little bit love-starved at the moment, and a lot of the ones that are in power, who have a love of power, who aren't powerfully loving but have a love of power, would like to see us remain scattered. Because these powers that be know that for as long as we are scattered, for as long as we are not united under the banner of love, then we are weakened. Without even trying, these powers have found ways to sit back and to just watch as we fight and we bicker amongst ourselves. So many of us can agree that the world's a bit broken right now. The world's a bit sick right now. But unfortunately, instead of uniting in a love for something better than what we have now, instead of uniting in a love for humanity, in a love for our unity, in a love for our freedom, in a love for our fellow humans, we find ourselves bickering amongst ourselves and focusing on the things that make us different rather than focusing on the things that unite us and that ultimately make us stronger together. And this is a mechanism that the ones in power use to keep us disempowered. And these powers know that the thing which could unite us, the thing that could unite us is love, and all the various qualities, again, like compassion, unity, respect, kindness, a recognition of our oneness and our sameness. All of these qualities are the qualities that could bring us together. They are the qualities that could give us back our power. They are the qualities that would cause us to rise up in the name of love in such a way that our power couldn't be taken from us. And this is where the potent and powerful qualities of love come into play. Again, many believe that love is passive, and a lot of our experiences of what we believe to be love confirm and tell us that yes, indeed, love is passive. But it's not. Love is potent. It is a force in and of itself. It is uniting. Hi! This is my token pussycat. Got a feature in all the videos. Finds me wherever I am. Hi, darling. It is potent. It is creative. It is intentional. There's no denying that love is a creative force. I mean, love is literally what creates and sustains life here. And as a potent and creating and life-giving force, love has a very good bullshit barometer. So people believe that once you fall in love, your ability to discern kind of goes out the window and you end up soft-minded and soft-hearted. But when we're loving truly, our ability to sense and to recognize bullshit should actually become heightened. After all, how often is bullshit for the good of the evolution of the ones that are concerned? So the role of love is to keep the bad out and to keep and to nurture and to build and to develop the love within. And in order for the love to be able to do that, it has to be able to recognize and to smell bullshit, because love has to, of course, it has to be able to set boundaries. It's like a mother with a new baby. Her love for that infant causes her in every iota of her being to want to nurture and to protect that infant. So she's very good at recognizing anything that could pose a potential threat to her infant, and she's ready to do whatever is required of her to protect. So love recognizes the source of its love, and ultimately, love recognizes and wants to serve and nurture and to uplift the potential for love that exists in all things. So very naturally, love knows how to recognize those things that could cause harm to the object of its love. And very naturally knows how to say no. Very naturally knows how to and is inclined to set very strong, clear boundaries. So in that way, love is not passive. Love is actively nurturing and uplifting, actively seeking out ways to create, to build, and to sustain love, and is also very protective of the love and very protective of the object of its love. So love, rather than being this weakened state that people believe it to be, is actually one of potent force and potent clarity and strength. Certainly there is an element of vulnerability or realness, authenticity, rawness that comes with love, but love is also very powerful. So if we, the people, actually united in love and stood together out of a love for something, even out of just a love and an appreciation and a recognition for the love that exists within each other, rather than becoming weakened or passive, rather than becoming enslaved in the face of love, we would actually become more potent in our attempt to protect and to nurture and to sustain the love and to be the caretakers of the object of our love. We would become stronger. And love also knows how to act. So a lot of people, when they hear me speak about us uniting in love, what they think that I'm saying is that we should just be allowing. We should just roll over and allow our power to be taken from us. But love acts. Love is action. It has to be action. How else can it create, sustain, and protect? So rather than just sitting back and being taken advantage of, love knows how to stand up for itself. And love knows the appropriate actions to take. Without the strengthening and stabilizing force of love, people tend to become unstable. And we see that a lot in ones that are just really angry and pissed off at the world. They become very easy to trigger, they become very volatile, and they are very easily knocked off center. But love is consistent, love is stable, love is strong, love is very grounded, and it is very present. When you're fully seated in love, and when you are having the experience of, it's almost like becoming one with love itself. When you are in love with love, and you are loving all of the objects of your love, which is everything that contains the potential for love, so you end up loving all and everything. There's a strength and a calm assurance that comes with that. There's a stability, there's a steadfastness. Because again, love comes coupled with qualities such as compassion, such as kindness, such as tolerance and unity and respect. And when you're armed with these qualities, these potent, powerful qualities, not these weakening qualities, potent and powerful qualities, life-creating and sustaining qualities, and when you're seated in the calm assurance of love itself, then you become rock solid. Because of the ever-changing quality of love, you are still softened and you are still open to evolution and different perspective. And you are always allowing yourself to be changed, to be altered, and to be different, always open to changing your mind, to changing how you think and how you feel about things as you compassionately open yourself to consider the perspectives, the inclinations and the priorities of other people. So there's a deep partnership with evolution and change and with other people that naturally accompanies love. But in the midst of all that change, love also knows itself. It is always connected to itself. And it allows the lover, the one who is loving, to be deeply present with themselves. And again, because they're armed with qualities such as compassion, when the world tries to rock them, when other people are cruel or when they're nasty, or when other people are lording or attempting to lord their power over them, or are attempting to take away the power of the lover, because of their calm assurance and because of their deep presence and because of their compassion, which is their ability to understand why things are happening. And I'm not talking about sympathy. People confuse sympathy and compassion a lot. Sympathy is more entering into a sympathetic resonance with other people, which can cause us to become enmeshed and to become tangled up. Compassion is a strong quality where it knows itself, and yet a choice has been made to extend the self and to become curious and interested in what it might be like to be other people. So compassion seeks to understand. It seeks to enlighten itself. It seeks to broaden its horizons. And again, compassion is a powerful and strong quality of love. So because of this compassion, it's pretty hard to be shaken from your center. It's pretty difficult to be really rocked by something. It's even difficult to be really shocked by something. Because rather than being distorted by rose-colored glasses, which is another assumption that people have about love, love actually comes with this cold, clear light of truth. Again, armed with the qualities of love, you stop being afraid of truth, and in fact, more and more you seek out truth and you ask that truth be revealed, however difficult that truth may be to swallow, however conflicting that truth may be, however different it may be from what you thought or you felt before. Because what you're interested in is what is going to serve, to uplift, to nurture, and to protect the ones that are under the care of your love. So in this quest for truth, and in the stability of the calm assurance that comes with truly loving, truly being in love, truly being with love, the volatility is lost. There's nothing that you have to aggressively protect yourself from. There's nothing that you have to, or that you feel inclined to savagely defend in yourself. You're open to truth, you're seeking out truth, you're interested in the good and the evolution of life. So love, with all of its compassion, is much more powerful, much more stable, much more consistent, and much more potent than any fear or any judgment. Again, this is why the powers that be would seek to keep us disempowered, would seek to keep us away from love, would seek deliberately even to distort our perceptions of what love is, encouraging the sentimental and weakening fairy tale versions of love, and causing us to believe in the myth that love is passive. So when I say that love is the force or the quality that could heal the world, I truly mean it. I'm not talking about weak, soppy, passive, sentimental love. I'm talking about strong, potent, life-giving, life-directing, life-nurturing, compassionate, powerful love that's deeply seated in itself and that deeply considers the evolution and the good for all concerned. I'm not just directing this at the little guy. Imagine if everyone on the planet could recognize and awaken to this love. But until that day, I would say, let's find something to love together. Let's find something that unites us. Let's stop fighting and squabbling amongst ourselves. Let's come together. Let's recognize our innate unity, our innate oneness, our innate sameness. Let's develop compassion for each other so that we can stand together in love and we can protect all that is love. And in that love that unites us, we can say no. We can take our power back and we can finally come to understand which actions to take, which actions will actually bring about our re-empowerment and the production of more love, more unity, more compassion, more joy, more grace, more calm assurance, more self-confidence, more self-love, more self-respect, more equanimity, more calm, more peace, more harmony, more tolerance, more love. Very naturally weeding out those qualities that got us in this mess in the first place, namely a love of power, greed, lust, materialism, jealousy, insecurity, separation, intolerance, segregation, focusing on all of the things that make us different, unkindness, cruelty, superiority, inferiority, low self-esteem, low self-worth, low self-respect, an absence of compassion, pig-headedness, anger, and the infantile and unnecessary struggle for existence. There's enough love to go around. There's enough life to go around. We got to get this show back on track, and we do that by finding something that unites us, by finding something that we can love together, by finding something that we can stand for together. And then in that standing together, from there, we will be able to say no, and we will know exactly how to say no. So when I talk about love, I'm talking about a potent, powerful, unconditional, acting, uniting love. So, whatever the opinion, I still believe that love and all of its innate, fine qualities are the solution and the ongoing evolutionary goal for all of humanity. And the way to return to love is through an intentional and rigorous process of transmutation, transformation, and healing. We've all got to get in touch with and become aware of the parts of us that are angry, that are pissed off, that are opposing, that are jealous, that are insecure, that are power hungry, that are basing our worth and our value on status and recognition and power. We've got to become aware of the parts in us that are jealous, that are insecure, that are in pain, that are broken. And we've got to accept that those parts are there. We've got to acknowledge them as deeply as we can. We've got to release the judgment of all of that stuff. For so long, we've just been surviving, but it's time to start thriving. And it's through the acknowledgement, the acceptance, and the deep feeling of these things, of these parts, of these pains, that we can finally reclaim that energy and redirect it to create and build something new for ourselves. Our collective return to love and return to unity, our return to compassion requires our collective healing. So let's support each other as we undertake this healing. Let's get in touch with our feelings. Let's get in touch with the ideal, and let's work to transform our current state into something that more closely represents that ideal. So to love and to become an agent of love is a proactive and a productive process. It requires your full commitment and your absolute desire to create a different experience for yourself and to contribute to creating a different experience for all of humanity. And this is what I mean when I say we've got to become the ideal, we've got to become the solution. We've got to heal in ourselves the things that are broken and are dysfunctional in the world. And we've got to turn them into something that could actually heal the world. We've got to turn ourselves into the medicine that the world needs right now. And then again, we've got to unite under the banner of love, unite in our wholeness, unite in our love, in our love for each other. And from that place, we act. From that place, we say no. From that place, we take our power back. Because for as long as we sink into and accept our brokenness, our dysfunction, our pain, our separation, as though it is inevitable and as though we are powerless in the face of it, and for as long as we are scattered amongst ourselves, we're powerless, and any attempts to love will be weak and will be passive. So let's take a love of power and turn it into being powerfully loving. According to the powers that be, that's the scariest and most intimidating thing we could do. Because then we stop bleeding our power out all over the place and we actually reclaim it, and we've got something solid and significant and of value that we're all in love with, that we can direct our collective power, our creative love power into. Then we become a potent force. Then we can affect and bring about change on this planet. Then we can start having a different experience. So take the power of your anger and your frustration and direct it into something that's productive. Direct it into creating change, direct it into healing, direct it into seeking out, becoming an embodiment of wholeness. Direct it into uniting all of your parts and making yourself whole. And then from that wholeness, from that place of completion, direct your power, direct your love into finding others to unite and to stand with, and into having compassion as others undertake their own healing journey, as others make their best attempt at becoming whole, and then radiate that love, that wholeness, and even the attempts at healing out as ideals that others can aspire to as well. Be the living, breathing, loving example that others can look to and become more like. So let's start with more tolerance. I'm here, I'm ready to stand with you, I'm ready to unite, I'm ready to seek out, to search for, and to focus on the things that make us the same, rather than focusing on all of our minute and really insignificant differences, temporary and fleeting differences. And I'm ready for us to come up with a better plan, with a better solution, and to embody the ideal of that plan and that solution, to present it together as something that others might then want to aspire to. It's through the act of loving, it's through the act of changing, it's through the act of becoming, it's through the act of embodying and doing something about it that we're going to bring change to this place, or we're going to restore this place to what actually comes naturally to it. I think it's time. Pink Floyd said it, united we stand and divided we fall.